put together by Stacy Cochran. And before we go into that, I just wanted to say I hope everyone will be able to come to some of our author events coming up. We have 1 or 2 every day for the next couple of weeks, a lot of wonderful authors, and you can pick up a calendar of events that looks like the screen sheet right here up at the counter. Okay, Stacy Cochran is the moderator of our panel and has put all this together. He's the author of the Colorado Sequence and many other novels and a number of short stories as well. Stacy teaches writing at NC State University and has been active in putting together panels like this really all over the state of North Carolina, and I'm going to let him take over from there.
Thank you. So a writer died, and she was given the opportunity to go to heaven or hell.
Use the microphone.
So a writer died. There we go. So a writer died and was given the opportunity to go to heaven or hell. And she said, well, let me check out each place first. And as she descended into the fiery pits, she saw row upon row of writers chained to desks, being whipped with thorny lashes. And she said, oh my, well, let me see heaven now. So as she ascended into heaven, she saw row upon row of desks with writers chained to these desks, being whipped with thorny lashes. And she said, wait a minute, this is the same as hell. Oh, no, it's not, replied an unseen voice. Here, your work gets published. I'd like to thank everybody for coming, and I'll introduce our panelists here today. We have a traditionally published author here, Sarah Shaver, whose first book, Simon Said, won the St. Martin's Press Malice Domestic Contest for Best First Traditional Mystery. She has since published Snipe Hunt, The Fugitive King, The Bug Funeral, and Shell Game. She lives in Raleigh, North Carolina with her family. John Batson is a musician and self-published author. His books include The Rand's Conspiracy, The Songwriter's Hookbook, The Powder Monkey of Cape Fear, and Gaston's Last Run. John lives in Raleigh with his wife, Eileen. To my left here, we have Sarah Godin, who is a manager here at Quail Ridge Books. We hope to be, oh, Katie has shown up. We have Katie Jameson, who is a representative of Lulu.com. Katie works in the community department at Lulu. And then myself, I was selected as a finalist in the 1998 Dell Magazine's undergraduate fiction competition. In 2001, I graduated with a master's degree in English. I have a self-published 3 novels and a short story collection, and have 4 times been selected as a quarterfinalist in the Writers of the Future short story competition. In 2004, my novel Culpepper was selected as a finalist in the St. Martin's Press PWA Best First Private Eye Novel Contest. I live in Raleigh, North Carolina with my wife, Dr. Susan K. Miller Cochran, and our son Sam. And I teach writing at North Carolina State. I'd like to start with Sarah to my left here, if you would. We'll start with a positive question. What can a self-published author do to impress a store manager in order to book an event?
We're sharing the microphone. That's a good question, and really it depends first of all on the book. And it's a long answer to a short question, because the books that we are most successful with here that are self-published books are nonfiction books that tell something about Raleigh or the area or someone here who is well known. And if it fits one of those criteria and is a professionally edited and published book, then it has a very good chance of having an event. The other things would be if you have a lot of support locally and there's going to be a lot of media interest generated. But it really has to start with the book. It has to be a good book, and it has to be something that people are interested in, and then there has to be local support for it.
And then following up on that, so what are some of the common mistakes that you see from self-published authors?
Some of the common mistakes would be a book that's not professionally published, in other words, that looks at staple bound or just is not a professional looking book, that has typographical errors or things like that. For us, a book that isn't necessarily a mistake by the author, but that wouldn't work for us, would be a genre book that we don't carry or generally support that genre. We don't do romance, we don't do automotive books. We don't do, slasher type books. So if it was something like that, that would be not necessarily a mistake for the author, but it would be something that we would have a hard time carrying in the store just because it's something we wouldn't be successful with. But I'd say having the book professionally proofread and edited and published is a huge step that most authors do need to take in order to find a home in most bookstores.
Great. Thank you.